So, guten Tag, Deutsch 1. Wir beginnen Thema 2, Schule. Yeah, we begin topic 2, school. Okay, school in German, that SCH is sh. Okay, in English, it's sk, like school or schedule or, what's another example? Can't think of any. Okay, anyway, in German, it's always sh. You always pronounce this SCH sh. So, Schule. Okay. Topic 2. Und es ist Woche 2. It's week 2 of our topic. Because last week, even though it was a virtual week, was week 1. All right. And we are looking at a picture of Zürich, okay, in die Schweiz. Look, SCH, Schweiz. All right. So Switzerland, Zurich. And I'll tell you in class why we're looking at Zürich when our topic is Schule, right? Okay. And very first thing today, hopefully we'll do this in class, is go over your colors. There's a Quizlet, there's Gimkits. Actually, this is probably where you're going to begin your independent work, is a review of colors here. Okay, and if you're watching this video, you've probably already done our warm-up in class with us, with the class. All right, so we're going to keep going past that. Wie geht's dir? Ich hoffe, dir geht's gut. I hope you are well. Okay. All right, we're going to keep going. All right, so es ist nicht Montag, es ist Dienstag. Entschuldigung, sorry. Riverbend, it was Monday when you saw this. Smartsmill, it'll be Tuesday. All right, and this is our to-do list for today. Okay, Schule, we're going to talk about Wortschatz, word treasure, or vocabulary, as it's known. That is the word for vocabulary in German. And haben, which is the verb for to have. So we're going to talk about school supplies that we have. Okay, I have a pencil, I have paper, I have a book. Okay, and then we're going to also talk about nicht. All right, some of you did this at the end of last quarter. Nicht means not in German. We're going to talk about things we don't have, or actually we're going to talk about what colors our school supplies are. Okay, so lernen Sie, learning target. Ich kann Schulsachen auf Deutsch erkennen. I can recognize school supplies in German. All right, so Wortschatz. All right, this is where we start. After you've reviewed your colors, okay, make sure you have a good handle on those, especially the words for dark and light, and maybe the word for colorful. Okay, I'm not sure if that's in the list. It's on the Quizlet, I believe. All right. Wortschatz. Okay. Was für Schulsachen hast du dabei? This sentence, word for word, means what for school supplies have you therewith? It doesn't translate very well word for word in English. What we're saying is, what school supplies do you have with you? Dabei. Da is a word for there. Da. Where'd you see it? Da. Okay. And by means like at, with, kind of with you. So dabei is a great German word. It means with you, on you, really. Like, what do you have on you? All right. Was für Schulsachen? In German, you can start any question with was für. What for? What for food did you eat for lunch? What for weather do we have today? What for? Was für? And then you put a noun in there. Was für Schulsachen? What for school supplies hast du dabei? What for school supplies have you today? All right, and you would answer that with ich habe. Okay, and then you have a choice here. Einen, eine. We're going to talk about that later. Ich habe einen, eine. Okay, I have a. All of these are ways to say a. How do you pick? More on that in a little bit. All right, let's look at the actual school supplies. And I'm going to ask you to do something while we go through these. All right, there's our slideshow. And this is what you're going to have printed out and with you. It's one page, okay? Should be one page. And this is called a flipper, okay? So German 1, for the top of this, you can write Schulsachen. Just write it in there, right? School supplies. So this is topic or list, Schulsachen. So this is a topic or list about school supplies. And diese Liste gehört, this list belongs to Name, name. So you write your name here on this one. Okay, I'm going to go back and delete that out because this is my template. I don't want to mess it up with that. All right, now this is where we type our actual words. This is going to be German and English of school supplies. Now, we're not going to put German on one side and English on the other. I know that seems like it would make the most sense, and it's going to really confuse people, but follow my instructions, all right? And this will all make sense in a little bit. You're going to start by writing German up here and English up here. But for the next one, you're going to switch that. You're going to write German here and English here. And then you're going to switch it again, German here, English here. So when you look down one column, you see German, English, German, English, German, English. Same with this side, okay? So let's try that for a few of them. All right, so Schulsachen. Back to the presentation. All right. By the way, you looked at a list of school supplies last week. If you did the virtual days, you even studied them a little bit. Several of these words are the same as those. A few are new and different. Okay, the words you looked at last week were the county required words, the ones that are, well, required, suggested that you learn about school supplies. And these ones are the ones we actually learned last year. Okay, so we added a few, like water bottle, okay, because a lot of you have them. All right, so here, let's start with here. Okay, I'm going to delete this out of here and type it in. Okay, that is die Prüftasche. Oops. All right, you're going to see now how I do International Keyboard. I go in here, and I've loaded the International Keyboard, the International English Keyboard. These are all the different keyboards I can access on my computer. The English International Keyboard, and that allows me to press Shift, quotation mark. Okay, this is the quotation mark, right? Shift, quotation mark. See, I just pressed it. It didn't do anything. Now I'm going to hit the U. Check that out. So Shift, quotation mark, then you let the keys go, and then you can type your U, or you can type your A, or you can type your O. Whoops. There. And it puts the umlaut there. Okay. So how do you get your English International Keyboard? You've got to go into your language settings on your Chromebook, which are going to be different from the computer here. Display language. Okay, not display language. Keyboard. I wonder if it's the keyboard. Yes, okay. So for me, it's keyboard settings. And I've chosen this as one of my keyboard settings. How do you get this list? There's a huge list. Somewhere in your keyboard settings, you'll be able to find the list of all of the languages that you can use. I think you have to go into adding an input language. No. Ugh. Anyway, I have a video where I researched it. I got a Chromebook, and I actually recorded myself using my daughter's Chromebook to put that in there. You need to go into your languages and add the International English language. You need to select it, and then it will become a part of this list. All right. Let's go back. So Kühltasche. Okay, this is a Kühltasche. Tasche is the German word for bag, and Kühl is the German word for cool. This is a cooling bag. It's a lunch bag or an insulating bag. I believe in the Quizlet it says cooler bag. Okay, die Kühltasche. So you're going to write this right here. Die Kühltasche. And here you're going to write cooler bag, or whatever you want to call it, although I would recommend using the same words as the Quizlet. because if you study using the Quizlet, then you'll get them right and you'll know you're right. All right, Krütasche. Now you've written the German here and the English here. Okay. Oops. All right, next one here. This thing here, it's actually a book. Okay, maybe it doesn't look quite like a book, but the title of this book by Lane Smith is Das ist ein Buch. This is a book, all right? So, das. Okay, and then you go here and you write. You put your German on this side, das Buch. You go over here and put book. Now, I know for a lot of you, oh, wait, if you're typing, it's going to want to make this capital. I went in and changed my settings so that it doesn't do that anymore. It doesn't matter, okay? It is not capitalized in German because it's not a noun and it's not the first word of a sentence. It shouldn't be capitalized. But if your computer is doing that to you and you can't change it back, don't worry about it. All right. For now, though, you are writing, so this should not be a problem. Die Kultasche, cooler bag. Das Buch, Buch. And then now we're going to start with the German over here, or go back to the German over here. All right, we've got this one here, okay? This is also a bag, so it's going to be a Tasche, but it is a school bag, die Schultasche. Okay. So this is a cooler bag. This is your lunch bag. This is maybe a school bag. Okay, we're not going to say it's a purse. That would be a Handtasche or Tasche. Okay, we're going to say it's a school bag because you're bringing it to school. And Germans love these kinds of school bags as opposed to maybe this, okay, which we'll get to in a minute. They like these big leather bags. All right, Schultasche. So now you've written die Schultasche. School bag. Oh, no, I did it wrong. Sorry. There we go. School bag. Okay. All right, folks, I'm going to show you how a flipper works. All right, I have here a flipper for German 1 vocabulary, Schulsachen, okay, and I typed all of those in there, okay, and so I'm going to fold it in half on the line, all right, and now I'm looking at the first word in there. You remember what we typed in there? You see it? Das Blatt Papier. That's what I'm looking at. All right. The person, okay, so this is a study tool. You can use it by yourself. Okay, so you can be looking at Das Blatt Papier there, and you can say, what is the what is the English for that? Piece of paper. And then you flip it over and see, oh, look, I was right, piece of paper. And then you look right down. You don't flip it back over. Okay, you can look right down to the next one and you see the next word. You're like, book. Okay, flip it over. Book. Okay, so it's different from if you had just put the English on one side and the German on the other. You're going to do double the flipping around. And also, if your eye looks ahead, you're going to see the answer to the next one already when you're, if they're just too close together. So spacing them out and having it alternate helps kind of keep you honest by not looking down for the answer to the next one. So it works pretty nicely as a study tool for yourself. Okay. But it's especially nice if you're studying with someone else because you've got your paper there and they are sitting across from you. And you can just say, you can think, Das Blatt Papier, piece of paper. And you can tell them, piece of paper. And they are looking at the answer and they can say, yes, that's right. And then they see the one underneath that, Das Buch, okay? And so they're going to be thinking, okay, Das Buch, that means book. And I'll say book, and you're looking at book, right? So you can say, oh, yes, that's right, okay? And it just, you don't have to flip the paper back and forth at all. You can just hold it like this and go through everything on the list, and then you flip it over, and then you each do the other side. Okay, so that's how that works as a study tool for two people, especially well. Yeah. Okay. All right, give it a shot, get a partner, and practice those words. Or you can also just use it by yourself. All right, mach's gut. All right, now let's go back to the list. Write these down. All right, Schultasche. So we have die Schultasche, das Buch, die Schultasche. Okay, whoops. We're going to go to this thing right here. Okay, that is a ballpoint pen. Der Kuli. Okay, der Kuli. Ballpoint pen. Or just say pen. Okay, that's also possible. All right, I'm going to go fast. You might need to pause it. All right, this thing here, die Wasserflasche. Okay, Flasche is bottle, Wasser is water. This is a water bottle. Water bottle. Okay. All right. At the bottom here, okay, it is paper, right? But rarely do we say, hey, I guess you say, I have paper, I need paper. But when you ask for something, you say, hey, piece of paper. Das Blatt Papier. This means piece of paper. There's no little of in there. They just say it together. Das Blatt Papier. This literally means the leaf paper. Okay, leaf paper. Blatt is the word for leaf. On the trees, they also have these things, Blatt. Okay. That means a piece of paper. Okay. All right, let's look at this thing right here. You will be shocked to learn this word. It is der Computer. All right. That's the word we're going to learn for that. They also call it das Laptop, but we're going to say der Computer. All right. This word here, this thing, it is, if you can tell, a backpack. So it is der Rucksack. Der Rucksack. Some people say rucksack in English. Okay, now let's go with the ones we can see easily. We're going to go to this thing right here. That is an eraser, right? Der Radiergummi. Der Radiergummi. Okay, the eraser. Okay. Gummi is the German word for rubber or anything really chewy or, whether you have a rubber band or gummy bears or chewing gum, they all use the word gummi. Okay, and they just add a word or two to it to make it that thing. Okay, so Radiergummi is eraser. Okay, we have another one of those things on our list. You'll see it in a bit. Okay, this thing here is a notebook, okay, or a spiral. You can see spiral notebook. Excuse me. All right, it is das Heft. Heft. Notebook. All right. This thing here, pencil. Der Bleistift. Der Bleistift. Pencil. Okay, then we've got these things here. They are dry erase markers, but any marker will do, and they're all called, now check this out. Stift is the word for like pointy stick, right? Stift is a stick. Okay, so Blei means lead, so a lead stick is a pencil, right? A marker is called a Filzstift. Filz is felt. It's the word for felt, so it's a felt-tipped stick, right? Marker, Filzstift. Okay, so any kind of marker, dry erase, permanent, whatever, Sharpie would be a Filzstift. Okay, and then finally these two down here. Let's start with this one. These are binders. Germans love their binders. All right. Der Ordner. Okay. Ordnung. Orden. This comes from the word order. Okay. Or it's similar to our word order. And this is an orderer, I guess you could say. A thing that puts order to your stuff. Ordner. Der Ordner. Okay. So binder. And then last of all, I think I'm going to take this off our list. This was kind of like a couple of years ago. We don't do this anymore, but I'm going to use it to illustrate. This is also a Gummi word, right? This is der Haargummi. It's a scrunchie. It's got the elastic in there. It's rubbery, right? And it's for your hair. Haargummi. There you go. Okay. That is going to be an extra word. So those are all the words on this list. Okay. And if now that you've done your flipper, okay, you see how they work, study them. Okay, take a little bit of time and study them. You also have these opportunities for studying them. You've got, if you pull up this slideshow, there's the Quizlet. Okay, there's the link to the Quizlet I was looking for. All right, and you have Conjugamus you can use, and we have the Kahoots. This Kahoot is English, German to English. This Kahoot is English to German, right? And then this last one is where you actually type it in. I've also included a Kahoot that quizzes you on what gender the word is. And here you have to write in the correct gender. Okay, let's go into that a little bit. Okay, so stay with me here for another couple minutes before you go work on that vocabulary. Okay, so every German noun, as we've learned, has one of three genders. It can be masculine, feminine, or neuter. Okay, right? So to be clear, we're not talking about whether the thing is actually a boy thing or a girl thing as we would, as we know of gender, okay? Or a non-binary thing, right? No, we're not. So this is also a bottle, a Flasche, right? This is a Kaffeeflasche, right? Coffee bottle. This thing is feminine, right? But there's nothing about it that would make it feminine. The part of it that is feminine is the word. The word is feminine. Okay, the word for coffee bottle, the word coffee can, coffee bottle is feminine in German. Kaffeeflasche. All right. So that's a weird way of thinking about. I mean, we're used to looking at something and saying, "Oh, look, well, it's breakfast." Let's see. I gotta think of something else here. Oh, here is meine Kühltasche. Okay, this thing is a cooler bag, insulated bag. All right. But if you think about the word separate from the actual thing, you can. Let's try that. Let's talk about. Do I have one with me? I don't. Book. Okay. The English word for book has two O's. The thing itself does not have two O's. Okay, nothing has two O's. It's a letter. A letter, the concept of a letter or a word, that's kind of abstract too, right? But the word for book has two O's. Now we're talking about the word, not the thing itself. Okay. Or you can say the word for paper is mostly used in the singular form. How often do you say papers? Right? You say paper. Okay, that's the word. It's not the thing itself. You can have lots of them. You can have one of them, and you say, I have paper. You say, I have papers. We're talking about the word for the thing, not the thing itself. Okay, so the words in German, the words for things have genders. Okay, right. So, and the gender is arbitrary. It's random, somewhat random. It really has nothing to do with the thing itself, and it's something you've got to kind of memorize. So, but you have to know it about the word to use it in German, because as soon as you put it in a sentence, words around it, the form of a or the you use changes according to the gender. Anyway, there are a lot of little things that change in a sentence to fit the gender of nouns that you're using in the sentence. Yeah. It's rare that you have a sentence you write in German where you don't need to know the gender of the words you're using. Sorry. All right. So, but let's see how this works. We're going to learn how to do this little by little. All right. So on our vocabulary lists, the der, die, or das next to the word tells us what gender it is. There's no other reason for including that when we put, for example, der Haargummi. The only reason I'm writing der with that is so that you know it is masculine. Okay. Der is the word for the, so it's the scrunchie. But when we use it, we don't always say that. The only reason that der is there is so that you know it's masculine when we're learning vocabulary. Okay. So when you're learning vocabulary, gender is arbitrary, it's random, but there are patterns. And if you know the patterns, you can start to kind of learn the words, learn which gender. Germans know it. They just have a feel for it. Their whole lives, they've been hearing of a water bottle as feminine. So they don't think twice about saying die Wasserflasche. Right? But for us, it's a very strange concept. So we need these rules, these generalizations. So if a word ends in E, it is usually feminine. So Kultasche, there's the E. Wasserflasche, is an E. Note is the German word for grade. E, feminine. Die Note. Okay, all for the list that we have, that is true. It's also true in general for, I don't know, a large percentage of words. There are exceptions. But for right now, this works for us. If it ends in an E, it is feminine. If it does not end in an E, so you won't find any words that end in an E that are not feminine on our list. Okay. Here's another generalization for our current list. If the word ends in ER, it is masculine. That's usually the case in German, not always. So der Computer, ER. Okay, der Ordner, ER, that makes it masculine. All right. And this is also usually the case. Foreign words are usually neuter. How do you know a word's foreign? Well, if it's recognizably English, then like quiz, all right, is foreign, and so that's das. That would also apply to computer. That's an English word, but excuse me, it fits also really neatly into this German pattern that where the ER makes it masculine, so it's masculine. All right. Quiz. What's another word? Trying to think of. We've learned a few words that are English words that have crept into German, and they have das. Anyway, there's an example. Das Quiz. Okay. So sorting out our list right now. Wait, do I have a few more here? Yeah, for the words that we've just had, the words that end in E are feminine. Okay, here's another one. It just applies for the list we have. If you write with it, it's masculine. The eraser is also masculine. So, or any words that end in gummi are masculine. Okay, I think maybe for Riverbend folks, I changed it to das at the end and said das Haargummi. Actually, gummi is a weird because it is a little bit foreign for Germans. So it could take both. If you look it up in Dictionary CC, it says, there it is, Haargummi. It could be masculine or neuter. All right. That's what those things in the brackets mean, Haargummi. So if we look up Bleistift, I'm going to say, remember, if you write with it, it is what? Masculine. There it says masculine. Okay. We can look up computer. There we go, der Computer. Der. It doesn't say masculine, it says der. Okay. And then we have, let's go back to Haargummi. Yeah, masculine or neuter for that. Okay. Here, yeah, see it says das Haargummi, der Haargummi. Could be either one. Okay, the second one here is the plural form, the one after this line that goes straight down, die Haargummis. So if you have a bunch of these things, that's how you say that. Okay, die Haargummis. In this case, you add an S. Check that out. In German, there are lots of different ways to form the plural. 7 or 8. Okay, so I've sorted these pictures out. I've got to drag them around into the columns. So Schultasche, Wasserflasche, Kühltasche. Okay. Here we've got the ER ones, Computer and Ordner. And then we've got all the writing implements, Bleistift, Kuli, Filzstift, Radiergummi, And then we've got the backpack also, and the Haargummi, all masculine. And then after we sort it out, then all the rest of them are neuter, right? Papier, whoops. Papier is a foreign word for German. Papier, I think, comes from French. Papier, right? Papier. Buch, okay, and Heft, das. Those are the das ones there. And then this was the 14 school supply things we did. There are other things that you've seen, other words like Note and quiz. I'm not sorting those out here. We're just doing the school supplies right now. So, okay. Shortly you'll see anyway. If you get on this slide, you can kind of practice sorting these around. This is like a little worksheet here. But what I want you to do is, if you go down to slide 22, there are some exercises for you to do. All right, this one, Schulsachen drag drop, is where you drag and drop the word to the picture, okay, to identify them. This one is about gender, so you're identifying the gender of the words. Okay, and then this one is where you actually write out the words. So you've got to know your vocabulary. You see a word like school bag, and you have to write die Schultasche with the article. Okay, die or die das. So this is kind of like really to show that you know your stuff. Okay, all right. And then when you come back, when we're all together, I'm going to ask you, was hast du dabei? And let's see if we can actually do this. Was hast du dabei? What do you have with you? All right, you're going to say, ich habe ein. Okay, and er, sie, es, ist. Okay, color here is what I was going for. So we're going to describe what we have with us by color. So if you're done with those exercises, okay, when you're done with those exercises, now let me tell you something here. All right, einen is used for masculine things. Eine is feminine things. And ein is neuter things. That is how you choose between those forms of ein, a. So if you say, I have a computer, it's masculine, so you've got to choose einen. Okay, if you have a water bottle, ich habe eine Wasserflasche. I have a water bottle. Okay, or if I have a book, ich habe ein Buch. Okay, you're going to use the ein. The form of a you use in everyday language reflects the gender of the word that you're talking about. That's why you always have to know the gender. All right. And then if you say, okay, if you're talking about the color of that thing, you are going to use, if it is a masculine thing, you're going to say he. He is red, rot. Okay. Or she, if it's a girl, if you're talking about your water bottle, she is colorful, bunt, right? Sie ist bunt. Okay. Or if you're talking about the book, es ist lang, a big book. Actually, you can't say long, you'd have to say groß. And groß is a big book. Okay. It is a big book. Es ist groß. Okay. Or a colorful, es ist weiß. Okay. It's a white book or black book. Es ist ein schwarzes Buch. A black book. Es ist schwarz. Okay. We are going to put these on our whiteboards and make some sentences at the end of class for kind of to go in the grade book. See how well you can do this. So that's where we're headed today. Try these exercises first. Get ready to do this. Maybe write some practice sentences. All right. I'm going to stop this video for now. All right, so let's talk about nicht. One more piece of this. We did this a little bit last quarter for those of you who are kind of done with things and had room for that last little project that we tacked on the end. The rest of you, we're going to catch you up now. Okay, nicht is the German word for not. Okay, so you know the game I Spy, right? In German, it's ich sehe was du nicht siehst. I Spy is, yeah, we say this, I Spy, let's play I Spy. In German, they say, let's play ich sehe was du nicht siehst. Ich sehe was du nicht siehst. I see something that you don't see. Okay, und es ist, Okay, but instead of saying the color, we're going to say the thing, right? Ich sehe was du nicht siehst und es ist Papier. Okay, there's lots of paper here in the room. We've got different colored paper. Okay, so we're going to guess what color it is. We're saying, Papier. Das Blatt Papier. It's S, right? It's neuter. Ist es weiß? Okay, is it white? Is it orange? So we're going to identify the exact piece of paper we're talking about here. That's a game we're going to play. And the answer to that then would be, es ist nicht weiß. Okay, it's not white. I was talking about the orange paper over there. Okay, or ja, es ist weiß. So ja, es ist weiß means yes, it is white. And nein, es ist nicht weiß means no, it is not white. All right, you just add nicht before the color to make it not. Okay, not. Simple, right? Okay, but to step back a little bit from that, what it means is if you've got a quality of something that you're describing, it either has a quality or doesn't have a quality. Like this water bottle is full. Okay, if I drank a bunch of that and then I picked it up, I would say, oh, this water bottle is not full. It's a quality of it. It's either full or it's not full. When you're using those kinds of words that talk about quality, you use nicht to say not. Okay, pretty simple, right? But there's a different way to say not in German when you're talking about whether you have something or not. Like maybe I don't even have a water bottle. I would say I have no water bottle. We've got to learn a different word for no. Like I have no water bottle. I have no computer. I have no homework. Okay, that would be a good one, wouldn't it? All right, that's a different word. Right now, we're talking about qualities. It's white, it's black, it's fast, it's long, it's big, okay, or nicht, not. Okay. So hopefully if we have time today, we will play that in class. I see what you don't see, right? I spy, and mess around with colors a little bit and not. All right, that's everything for today. Make sure you do those exercises. Prepare to say what you have with you, was hast du dabei, and then we'll talk about what it is or is not. Okay, so mach's gut.